Um, Let me share with you my thinking. My thinking, especially when I've been trying to limit you guys first with the account size, and then it seems like now then I'm also trying to limit you from from making a lot of money. Um, there's a reason to all this. But first, like I've done before, I first let you enjoy it. I let you, test drive it. I let you, feel, you know, and appreciate the fact that you can do it. But just like we started, the idea at first was to be able to make pips. And very quickly you realized making pips is not a big deal. Yet it is a big deal for many people who can't trade or don't know how to trade. And so the first objective was for you to learn how to make pips. And once you are able to make pips, I mean, you could see if you're given a super highway, it's like somebody teaching you how to drive. First, they teach you how to drive. At the point where you're learning how to drive, you don't really care what kind of car. You can use a Volkswagen or you can use a small beat up Toyota, an old car. It doesn't really matter. But once you're a driver, good driver, then what do? We set you free on the free highway, and tell you can drive as fast as you want. Okay? And there you step on it, you flow it. That's why many of you were able to do 500 pips, 800 pips, 1,000 pips. Okay? And it's amazing. It's actually good, especially if you tell somebody who is learning, or even the professional traders, that actually you can do 100 pips in one day. They'll be like, wow, I wish I could do that daily, you know. But our goal is to try and make sure that we turn you into a professional trader. So once I saw that you guys now are comfortable with doing the pips, the next thing was to try and get you to slow down and now focus on growing capital. If you're given a capital, are you able to grow it? If you're given X dollars, are you able to convert it into 2X? Are you able to double it? So, what are the skills required to double an account? The skills required to double an account are a little different from the skills you garnered in making pips. Making the pips, you soon realized it was very easy. Anybody can do that. You know, you just go into the market and you just click, 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 click. You don't care what kind of losses you are incurring, okay, as long as you're clicking. But now, when you are confined, you are constrained, you are, put on a particular regiment. Then not now you only have $1,000, and from this $1,000, I want you to continue clicking, making the steps. Okay, hello. Okay, I want you to continue making tips, but more importantly, we want you to start growing the account. And that means that now you can't just shoot, you know, uh, carelessly. You have to be very deliberate in your trades, which means when you trade is important, how you enter is important, okay, and how you keep that capital without losing it is probably the most important. Okay, so that while you're protecting your capital, are you able to grow it? So now the skills required there are a little different. They are softer skills, but they are a little different. Okay. Now you find that once you realize you can actually make money, you can grow the account, but you have to be careful because in that, it's a double-edged sword. In that process of growing the account, you can also suddenly find yourself with huge losses. So at what point do you strike a balance? You strike a balance at the point where you realize that sometimes you can be excited doing buys, or sells, and suddenly the market turns against you, which it will do very regularly. And so, mine is to help you to navigate those landmines. And the only way to protect yourself from that is actually to be a little more modest, or more or less, should I call it cautious? Yes, I know on a good day you can do 10% return. You can even do more. Yes, you can. But is that sustainable? Is that realistic? For $1,000 account, if you do 10%, basically you're saying you've made what? $100. And whereas it appears like small money, let's magnify that a little bit. Let's assume you actually have $1 million in your account. Okay, let's say $100,000, which is basically $1 million initially. If it's $100,000 and you want to do 10% in a very short time, the 10% of 100,000, that is what, $1,000 in a very short time. I mean, it's good money, but the question is, can you do it again the following day? Can you do it again the day after? Can you do it again the fourth day? And I can almost bet you'll do it today. You might pull it through tomorrow. The third day, you might do it with difficulty, but the fourth day, you will tank out. That's the Forex market. For the next 2 or 3 days, you'll just be tanking out, tanking out. Why? Because you're still trying to shoot for that 10% in your mind. And so when you start, it goes against you, you lose everything. And I'm speaking from experience. So, how do you draw a balance? Drawing a balance is okay, conservatively saying, if I make 1%, between 1 and 2%, let me learn to be content with that. Let me learn to be satisfied with a return of 1% daily. Now, 1% in any books, in any financial market, 1% daily is still considered extremely good, which means in a month, 20 days, you'll probably be doing slightly more than 25%. Now, no bank in the world, no financial institution in the world can give you returns of more than 25% in a month. So, why would you want to do 200% in a month when you're shooting for 10% daily? Well, you might be lucky 1 month, but the following month you might wipe out your whole account. So I guess what I'm trying to say, in an effort to balance, I'm teaching you what we call best practice. Best practice is you want to be able to uh, have a capital and grow that account gradually, modestly. Okay, if there are people that they're called prop investors. Okay, if they want to invest into your account, they will look at your statements, and that's why I'm trying to teach you the habit of keeping statements. Oh, and for many of you who are, uh, you see, if you open your account with Gmail, your statement should actually show your name because it's an account you created. Okay? If you have a demo or something that you created, it should show. Your name should show in the statement. So try and make it a habit from now on that your statements show your name. Okay, and that might mean going back and using your Gmail to open the demo account or something so that it appears, the statement appears with your name. Now, when the those statements, what first they look to see is there consistent, is the trader consistent? That's number one. By consistent, they look at like the number of pips. Are you taking consistently 2 pips, 2 pips, 2 pips, or 3 pips, 3 pips, or four pips, or five? Okay. Uh, and if that is the case, what about your losses? Are your losses predictable? Are you like losing, -2, -3, minus what? Or do you have erratic losses? You have -10, -20, -30, then you have 10 pips, 15 pips. See, that's very erratic kind of record. Now, that one they would not even touch. So, how do you tame things around? You tame things around by one, trying to use the same currency. If you jump from one currency to the next, to the next, to the next, well, nobody will penalize you. And if you have your own account, that's fine, you can still do that. But if you want somebody to, you know, put their money into your account, or rather give you a chance for them to trade for them, they might be more concerned why you're shifting from one currency to the next currency to the next currency. Okay? Because if you learn how to trade, you can pretty much trade any currency. So pick one currency and stick to it. Okay? So don't do a few this currency, then the next you change to another currency, then the next you change, that doesn't look good for your record. So same currency, uh, same pip size, ideally small. Why? You want to give the funder the confidence that you are not greedy. You're only taking the smallest unit you can from the market, and even then, you're doing a very good job at it. So yes, you're taking 2 pips or 3 pips, but you're doing a very good job at it because of the 2 pips you take maybe 100 or 50 or 70 at a time. And if it's 100 at a time, that's already 200 pips. If 1 pip is $1, that's $200, at a time. See, and those are the kind of things that the funder would be looking at. Can I invest in this person? Now, when they look at the returns, again, they look in terms of what are the standards. The standards right now are about 10% annually, or those that are very, very good can give you 15%, annually, not monthly, annually, which means on a monthly basis, it's probably just about 1%. And if it's 1%, for you, a trader who's on the market for 20 days, okay, ideally, if you can do 1% daily, you even beat these guys who are giving returns of 1% per month. So, at any rate, 1% to me is still very, very good. Now, last but most importantly, you are not in a sprint. You're not competing anybody. You are competing with yourself. You're trying to instill discipline in yourself. You're trying to instill best practice in yourself. You only have yourself to beat. You're not competing with anybody here. All right. So, which means if it means you are as slow and as careful as possible, so you don't really care if guys are doing 10% return daily, you know, or 20%, no, for you, you tell yourself, I'll go to the market and in about, I normally go around this time, that time in about half an hour, I can get my 1% amount. Now, if you do that, it's like saying, can can I pay you to be doing 20 pips for me every day in the market? Of course, right now, you can do 20 pips with your eyes closed. You know, every single day you can do 20 pips. I know you can do that. But what we're saying is, can you build a confidence to yourself and to anybody who's watching and looking at the statements that you can do consistently between 1 and 2. 2 is on the high side. 1 and 2% return daily. If the answer is yes, and somebody can count on you, then my friends, you are on your way to greatness. Because eventually, when you get a big account of even $1 million, and you can go to the market and in about half an hour, 45 minutes, you've done your 1%, you can walk out and go play golf or go swimming or do whatever you want to do. Because nobody makes that kind of money in about half an hour or 1 hour. Nobody. I don't care what kind of profession you are in. Okay? With a big capital like a million Kenyan shillings, and you can do your 1% easily, you're good to go. All right. Of course, from then on, you can expand. You can play later on. You don't just do 0.01, then you do 0.02. Now, if you're doing 0.02 and you're still doing 1%, can you imagine what will happen? Basically, you've just doubled. You just doubled that return. That 1% you've been targeting, once you do 0.02, suddenly it doubles. But I didn't want to tell you that early because then you'd get excited, and you'd lose focus. So for right now, the focus is 0.01, 1%. 0.01, 1%. Once we've been able to double the account at 0.01 at 1%, then we go to the next level. The next level now is okay, fine. If somebody decides to bring you now, $5,000, not one, $5,000, and now we decide that we will do 0.01, no, 0.02, not 0.01. The amount of money that you will make from that will be mind-boggling. Okay? And I think I shared with you guys a spreadsheet. I don't know if okay. For the sake of those that I didn't share, I have a spreadsheet right now ready. I'm just going to throw in, I'm going to share it right now. Hmm. Okay. All right. Somebody asked me a question today on the challenge we are doing, that how much would somebody, if they only had $1,000, if they invested $1,000. So remember, in 1 month, when you trade, you've only traded for about 20 days in a month. Okay. So in 2 months, it will be 40 days. So this spreadsheet tells you, okay, let me just go, in 6 months, it'll be 120, 120, 120 days. Okay, and then in 1 year, you'll have 240, is it 240? Yep, 240 days. All right. So if you start with $1,000 only, assuming you conservatively only have $1,000, okay, your first day of trade at 1%, okay, plus the capital becomes 1,010. And many of you guys did more than 1%, so you know what it is. By second day, you have 1,020. By third day, you shoot up. Oh wait, something is not right here. I know what I did. Okay, there you go. So basically, in 1 year, if you start with 1,000, okay, you will have made 10,893. Now, again, $1,000, $10,000 is 1 million. So you started 100,000. In 1 year, you have a million. But the magic starts happening when the capital is big. So let's assume that now you have managed to get $5,000. Okay? So the first day plus your 1%, you'll have 5,050. Second day, you'll have 5,100. Third day, 5,000, and that's plus the original capital. In 1 year, you will have made 54,463. Basically, you'll have made 5,400,000 Kenya shillings. Okay, again, I'm just throwing numbers there. Once you become proficient, okay, and you're not just going for the 1%, if you can do 2% consistently, but for you to do 2% consistently, you must have been able to do 1% consistently, or at least something in that ballpark. So all we do is we change that number to 2. And then the magic happens. Oh, this is. Okay, I'm trying to change something here and it's not working. Okay. And here we go. All right. When you change that to 2, the numbers become scaring. Because you start with, in fact, I'll be more conservative. I'll start with $1,000. Okay. And the numbers start slowly, but up there, they go up very fast. Even with $1,000, you'll have over a million in 1 year. Okay. 0.02 daily. So now these are ridiculous numbers. They're crazy high. In fact, most people will be content even just with the 0.01 or even 0.5%. That's why it's not good to shoot for the sky. Just shoot for something that is reasonable, that is within reach, and more importantly, something you can do daily. You can repeat it tomorrow, you can repeat it again the day after tomorrow, consistently, day in, day out. When the market is bad, you still get your 1%. When the market is good, you still get your 1%, and you walk out, and you walk out. That's the discipline I'm trying to instill in you. All right, I'll stop there. Time for questions, general discussion, anything.
Hi, Coach.
Yeah, hi.
This is Patrick.
Yes, Patrick.
On the frame on the screen, the way you are setting up the three screens, I saw you are using Roborex. Is it possible on City Trader? Because I was trying it and it wasn't giving me that option.
City Trader, yeah, it is. It's the same thing. Yeah, what I'm using actually, see, this is what? Let me.
Roborex. That's Roborex.
Okay, let me just switch now. Switch to another. 1 second. In principle, it is still by the same company, Feed Trader. Okay, I'm trying to log out. So it should be able. Oops. Oops. Okay. I need to share this. Okay, can you see what I'm sharing? Hello?
Yes, it's visible.
Visible,
It's got triple.
Yeah.
Okay, so the same thing, only you come to this layout and you click on the trade watch, you unclick it actually, and then you have the same thing. So this is the same thing we had on the other one. Let me remove this many things here. All right. Any other questions?
Hi, Coach.
Yeah, hi.
Jackson.
Jackson, yes.
Maybe I may want to go to clarify something for the gentleman who asked the question.
Yeah.
Actually, C Trader is a platform, but RoboForex is a broker who uses C Trader platform to to do business.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, so you should not confuse the two. RoboForex is actually a broker. The same way we have IC Markets, who is also a broker, who uses the same platform of a C Trader.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that clarification.
Thank you for the clarification.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Cool. I have a potential client of mine who is, I think he wants help in trading, but I told him that I can only help him if he's using C Trader because he was using MT4. And I told him, for you to scalp successfully, you cannot use MT4. Okay. Now, unfortunately, the two authorized guys in Kenya, I think EGM and the other broker, they don't have access to C Trader, or rather, the providers don't use C Trader. Okay. All right. I don't see any other questions. I can just say that I'm actually happy and proud of you guys who have still stuck with it. You've not given up. Okay? Forex is not for the faint-hearted. I've said that so many times. Okay? You have to have the steam for it. Okay, there's a lot of hard to the journey. As you can see, I would say technically maybe we are about 10 who are still actively, you know, doing the challenge, but the rest are struggling. Are struggling somewhere. Okay, it's my desire to try and see if I can bring them all to speed. But for you guys who have reached this far, I'm encouraging you. This is not a marathon. You don't have to do it all at once. Okay, if you take some trades and they're going bad against you, it's okay. It's okay to wipe them out and start a fresh account. It is okay. Okay, but if you start a fresh account, ask yourself, what will I do differently to avoid blowing up the account again? Remember, you're not competing with anybody. You're just trying to instill in yourself the tenacity, the ability to do something over and over and over and over and over again at your own pace, not at anybody's pace. Okay? And then challenge yourself. Ask yourself, if somebody who has $1 million wants to uh, wants me to trade for them, would they pick would they pick me in a crowd? What would make them pick me in a crowd? Remember, people with money don't want risk takers. They want people they feel comfortable, you know, putting their money in. And by the way, as soon as we are comfortable, in a few months, there are very many brokers out there that will provide you to do what is called copy trading, where copy trading is kind of like signals, only it's a little more intense, where you trade daily, whether it's a live account or demo account, okay, and people pay to copy your trades on a daily basis. But the basis of that will be the statistics that comes from your trades. So basically what I'm saying is I'm teaching you good habits that if you end up joining something like that, all you can do is wake up every day and you trade and make your 1% conservatively, and people will be watching. And as they watch you trade, they watch your consistency, they might decide, I have $1 million. I want to copy this guy's trade. And that will be residual income, money that you've not even asked for. People will just be copying your trades and paying you for it. Now, that's the beauty of the Forex world. Of course, there'll be those who will look for you in our market, in Africa, in Kenya, and the rest of Africa. We are essentially pioneers. And because we are pioneers, we will have an edge. We will make lots and lots and lots of money. I think I've said enough. No questions? Okay. Don't panic when you see the numbers are getting down. I am actually almost on a daily basis. I am bombarded with messages from people who are struggling. Okay. Most of them are ashamed to share their performance with the group. So it's because many have fallen by the wayside. Of course, the others who have given up, but there's still almost another 10 that are still struggling, and they keep trying, and I have to go back and help them every so often. So when you see the number here dwindling, it's because you guys have proven, you've actually followed the process, and that's why you were able to, to excel. And so kudos to you, congratulations. And like I said, even with what you have right now, you are able to make a lot of money. Just for now, you are. Okay. So, but my goal is to make you guys better. So 3-6 months from now, okay, you look back and you can say, yes, I did it. I can do it. You don't have to go through the pain that some of us did. So you'll be the first people to maybe within 3 months or 6 months to be able to become profitable traders. This is a very good record time. Sawa. I think we're done. Unless somebody has something important they want to ask, they want to clarify, we're done. Okay. I will save this for those who missed the class. We can tell them. Okay, good night, gentlemen. Good night, lady.
Good night, coach, and everybody.
Good night.
Good night, coach. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night, coach.
Thank you very much.
Good night.